everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have another redeco squishy video. I did promise one of these on Wednesday, but the one that I'm still working on is going to take a few more days, so I'm going to have to post that next week sometime. Anyway, last night I was on YouTube and I seen Ketchup Giri upload a panda bun squishy makeover and I thought it was perfect, so this is definitely inspired by that video as I just loved it so much. Anyway, what I did with the panda bun was I just kind of like cut all of the soft paint like white bit on the outside, the outer layer of it basically. I just cut all of that off all the way around the panda bun. I did it on the bottom, on all of the sides and everything, and I also made sure to remove that really ugly plasticky bit inside. Now, I did watch Ketchup Giri's video and I really adored the texture of it, which definitely inspired me to do this video. I will leave hers down in the description down below so you could check that out if you haven't already, but I'm sure you have. Anyway, as you can see here, I removed all of that white outer layer and it's become very texturized and it's still just as slow rising as it was before. What I then did was I made little indentation like lines throughout the squishy to make it into kind of like a bun, and this bun is, well, I don't really want to give it away, but I just put lines in it basically, and the way that I do this is a little bit different from other people, but I basically use the tip of my scissors to kind of make a line to begin with, and then taking the edges I then smooth out like the edges that I just cut. Does that make sense? That probably doesn't make sense. Let me explain it again. But I use the tip of my scissors to make a line to begin with, snipping in about 2 to 3 millimeters inside of the squishy. I then take my scissors and with my hand spreading apart the foam, I just kind of smooth out those edges of the snips that I first put in, making a really small indentation. I think I just do it this way because I have quite chunky scissors, but if you have thinner ones you would just be able to kind of do them sideways. So as you can see here, I'm just cutting that original line with the very tip of my scissors, and then taking the sides, I spread it open and then smooth out those edges so that it's nice and rounded. Once all the lines were completely done on the bun, I then took another smaller, like almost like a panda bun thing again, and I just cut it in half. What I then did was I rounded off all the edges and removed all of the outer kind of skin of the squishy yet again, removing all of the colour and just like smooth bits of it. I then put it down to the bun and then drew around it with a Sharpie pen, removing the bit that would kind of be overlapping the head so that it fit nicely to the original bun. I then went ahead and just shaped the other half of the smaller one just in the same exact way so that I was left with 2 ears. To stick the ears on, you can use fabric glue. I actually went ahead and used hot glue on a very low setting, just popping a little bit of that on so that it didn't create any hard marks. What I then did was I took some of that like cut off excess from the mini panda bun and I just shaped this out into a nose piece, cut it in half so that I had a flat back and glued that down also. Next, taking 5 colours of puffy paint mixture, I just went ahead with some gloves on and used my fingers to kind of blend in that colour. This was another kind of tip or like technique that I took from Ketchup Giri's video, as I seen her use her fingers and everything to really put the paint into the sponge, and thought this would be a great idea in order to allow me to blend the colours together. So I went ahead and just popped on some vinyl gloves and then just did this with my hands instead of a lollipop stick or a paintbrush that I usually use, and for the rainbow it actually worked out really well because it was kind of seeping into the sponge and just blending into the other colours as well. So I'm really happy that I decided to test out this technique, and props to Ketchup Giri for suggesting it. I basically just alternated the colours from purple to blue to green to yellow to pink at the very top. I also then did the same colours on the back so that it basically went all the way around the squishy, like the same colours that were on the sides also went round the back in the same pattern. once all the rainbow was completely dry, I then took some black puffy paint with a dotting tool and I just painted on the face. What I did first of all was I really focused on the nose, getting the nose into a heart shape with the little mouthpiece coming out of it, and I just went back and forth until I was happy with the curves and stuff like that. I then went ahead and just painted on the eyes inside of like one of the diamond shapes on either side of the nose. I then left this to dry also. So once all the paint was fully dry, as you can see, my squishy was then complete. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. If you haven't guessed already, this is actually like the bear shaped melon bun, which is actually from Bunny's Cafe. I absolutely love this squishy so much, and every time I log onto Pinterest, it's always one that pops up like within the first 5 minutes of me scrolling through the squishy section on there. So it always catches my eye, and I'm just so happy that I decided to do it. Like I said, this video was inspired by Ketchup Giri's last night. I love the texture that she used on the chew bun, and I decided that I was going to do kind of the same texture but make it into the melon bun that I just keep seeing over and over. So like I said, I'm really happy with it. The slow risiness has just stayed the same as you would have expected from the original. The ears are nice and slow rising as the squishies themselves were. There are a few defects on it. The back where that little plastic bit came out, there's still a little hole, and then on the top of the ear as well, I did actually smudge some yellow paint up there, which was an accident, but you know, what can you do? You cannot get perfection. Well, at least I can, because I suck. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you tomorrow for another DIY. Bye!